like, I think
y'all are fucking
what
weird.
they're crossing the line on here is there are two genders. You're either male or you're female, because it has to do with your sexual organs, your hormones. That's all gender is. Now, if you want to express yourself, like someone can express themselves and say, I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, I'm a this, I'm a that. That to me is what all that is.
Yeah.
You express yourself however you want. You dress however you want.
Yeah.
You can change your name. You can tell people, oh, today for this hour, I am associating with blah, blah, blah. Cool. Do you. But don't bring this in to the scientific community and start saying that there's more than two genders.
Which is the whole discussion about the Leah Thomas thing, the swimmer that won the.
And I love that all the female athletes are like, no.
Oh, fuck you. Because
the actual female athletes.
Yeah, exactly. The real
card-carrying female athletes.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a card?
I do, actually. I was issued it right at birth.
Oh, I didn't get a
where
mural.
like, oh, vagina, here you go. Here's your card.
I didn't get a penis pass.
Oh.
Yeah.
What would mine be called? Penis pass.
Vagina validation. No. So, a vag valid. A valid vag?
It is a valid vag.
It is. It's validated. I can attest.
It's a certified cunt.
You got your cunt certification? You are cunt certified.
It's like it's like one step below an AA degree.
Okay. So, with the Leah Thomas stuff, it's like you guys, and when I say you guys, I mean the elemental piece. You started with gender is an identity. Gender is different from sex, right? That's what the whole thing that we've come to understand that you guys have tried to tell us,
don't
right?
say it's gender.
No, but gender is
because they're saying gender. They're saying gender is not having to do with sex.
So gender and sex are different. So gender can be what you identify. Gender is a social construct. It's an identity. It's all that, right? That's what I'm just going off of what they're saying. Now, and sex is different because sex is what you're assigned at birth, right? So
sex is either male or female,
Exactly.
but then gender is what you identify whatever the hell you want to be.
Exactly. You attack helicopter, loaf of bread, like whatever.
Okay.
I can understand that to a point.
I can understand that.
But when you're talking about sports, when you're talking about breaking records and doing all this and trying to compete against, then it's biology. It is set. Then it's sex.
So if we're going to be consistent with that, that's fine. Identify that there are two sexes that exist.
Exactly.
Male,
or
female.
There's at least different divisions because, and you play, I think golf is a little bit different of a thing, but when it comes to tennis or basketball or like baseball, which there's baseball and softball, like
what are you saying about golf?
I'm saying golf is a little bit different of a sport where, I mean, yeah, there's the power differences between male, man and woman or male and female, since we're saying biologically. Like, I think there is a difference in power.
I can only
and
drive
distance.
260 yards, but yet the guy can drive 300 or more. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's a little bit less of a difference, I would say, because it's more. There's only certain power in like the drive or maybe the fairway game or stuff like that.
Whereas if we're talking about the most, let's use the most obvious example here. Yeah. Let's look at like CrossFit games or something like that, where it's like pure strength is what you're going off of. Or
basketball or wrestling or certain like more physical sports.
Yeah.
Then it becomes. Then there's a big difference because it's bone density, it's strength, it's lung capacity,
and if we're not talking about like you're not taking any kind of things like steroids to alter your strength and abilities. And I'm not saying that there's flukes, like there's some women that are like insanely strong, and let's say they're like what they call natural athletes, like they don't take any kind of artificial
anything.
They take vitamins, but they don't take like steroids and stuff.
Exactly.
But yet they're freaking
or HGH or any of that
anything,
stuff.
Any actual like altering substance, and they're just fucking strong. I mean, okay, that doesn't happen with every woman though. It's just not naturally
Not
found.
every woman is Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
basically.
So, I fully support, like, you do you.
Yeah.
But I don't support the inequality when it comes to sports and such.
Trans women competing
Not
with
at all.
women. Like Ronda Rousey would beat the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
But if I trained as much as she did, and if I did as much as she did, I could hold her down with one fucking hand.
Well, so the question that I have, and it is a real question that whoever is in charge of, the sports rules that has to really consider, because it gets into the scientific realm, is because I was kind of reading more on the whole the swimmer thing.
Yeah.
And apparently in the initial I don't even know what the terminology is. Basically, the first thing you have to pass for them to say yes.
I think it's testosterone levels and all that. Yeah.
In order for you to be able to compete,
Yeah.
like 6 weeks out or whatever they do
How
it. Where
small
are
have
your
balls shrunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Do you
weren't
tuck them?
So apparently they were considered shriveled enough at that
Yeah.
point because they were, or it whatever
Grapes to raisins.
whatever. What's the name of the swimmer?
Leah Thomas.
Leah. Whatever Leah was supposed to be at, whatever level to be able to compete with females, met that. I don't even know what to call it. The swimmer met the level they needed to be at in order to compete. But then I guess, so maybe I'm mixing up two stories. I seem to remember them saying like all of a sudden there was some kind of disqualification, and it might have been another transgender in sports recently. So I'm just curious how they determine like the normal level for a female, like.
Yeah.
I mean, because women have testosterone too. We have a very small amount of it, and it's keeping that balance because
and just like men have estrogen, like there's
we all have it, and it's all about maintaining the proper levels.
Yeah.
Like you want to have testosterone because it helps with muscle development and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's that fine balance. So like whatever the normal balances of hormones for a female, it's like can you really define that? And if so, is that what they're applying to transgender in order to figure out if they are competing equally? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what if a transgender is at that level? What if the levels are literally like you have swimmer A who's born a female, still a female, and then you have a transgender that's transitioned over to a female. So if biologically the levels of hormones are the same, are we considering them equal competition? Now, questions that come up, and I heard another swimmer bring, kind of say this in a post. She said,
"Hey guys, we here at the Till Death Podcast realize that with everything opening up, you might need some new clothes to show off in public. It's scary, I know. But you can rest assured that we've got your back. We have high quality merch and fair prices so you can support your new favorite podcast without breaking the bank. We have a bunch of items to choose from, like this shirt, which is my personal favorite. Oh, it's upside down. See, we got this. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Or, also, this one for the ladies. For my lady, and punch myself in the balls. There we go, it's our old paint splat shirt. We also have tanks, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, yoga pants, beach towels, and even fanny packs. Like this one right here. So just head over to teespring.com/stores and use the promo code NOMOREMASK and you'll get 15% off your entire order. That's no more mask for 15% off. So what are you waiting for? Just do it! Just do it! Go get one. They're awesome. Do it. Also, head over to solo.to/tildeathpodcast for all things Till Death and how to stay up to date with all of our content. Babe, thought laundry was your job.
get all this merch out of my house.
See what I mean?
A person that is born a male will always have the strength of a male.
Yeah.
And that will never go away. But I'm like, is that accurate? You know what I mean? So I mean, I question that. I'm fine if they're able to make it a fair competition.
Mm-hmm.
But can they? I think it's going to take some time to ascertain if that will ever be the case.
No, because so I just looked up. It says NCAA creates new sport-by-sport guidelines for transgender athletes. Let me see. Let me get through the 8 fucking paragraphs before they get to actually what they're talking about. Approximately 80% of U.S. Olympians are either current or former college athletes. This policy alignment provides consistency and further strengthens the relationship between college sports and the U.S. Olympics. The NCAA policy is effective immediately, beginning with the 2022 Winter Championships. NCAA rules on transgender athletes returned to the forefront when Penn swimmer Leah Thomas started smashing records this year. She was on the men's team her first 3 years, but she is competing for the women's this season after transitioning. Yeah, and what I heard is that she was like 400th or something like that, like over all of the male athletes, and then first. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it sounds like it's like a fresher transition. So do they have to transition and like be receiving the female hormones for so long until it finally, you know what I mean? Like 2 years, 4 years, like when?
It says the Board of Governors is suggesting NCAA divisions allow for additional eligibility if a transgender student athlete loses eligibility based on the policy change. That flexibility is provided they meet the NCAA's new guidelines. It doesn't say what the fucking guidelines are. So that was worthless to just read that. And then it says the current trans guidelines are creating confusion. Makes sense?
Well, it makes sense. Everything around the trans, ABCDs.
It's like the whole thing about that whole issue, and then we'll wrap this up because we have a couple other things to talk about. Okay, so the whole thing with this is, like we said in the last episode that we were talking about this, it's confusing, and I'd like answers. But then when asking questions and trying to get information on it, it's either, it's just creating confusion, and then that's where it's left, or you're a transphobe. It's like, dude, like, I don't care anymore.
What I'm against is not the right for people to choose how they want to represent themselves. I'm against people who are just assholes as humans.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many you are. Yeah, so many people in that respect. I'm an equal
opportunity offender.
Yeah. Because I feel like people just automatically assume that by stating questions that you're against them.
Yeah.
Or have hatred towards them. And it's just like this whole Black Lives Matter thing where we're trying to create get rid of the split between black and white and everyone else, and try to bring forth equality. But in doing this whole Black Lives Matter thing, it's made more people feel like they're now leaning towards being racist because of everything that they did wrong. And it's kind of the same way with all this transgender, multigender, whatever thing, because State Puff Marshmallow Man on that we talked about last time.
Trans biscuits.
Yeah. Marshmallow Man.
Who was 17, by the way.
Gross.
It's just sad.
It's just crazy because I feel like they're all nuts. Or lacking of.
It's just, it sucks because it's like, it's something that, being a human being, you have enough empathy, but that you only have so much before you're like, fuck you, dude. I don't care. I don't give any fucks if that's how you're gonna act.
No, because everyone, like, the funniest thing is when I was talking to my boss and she was telling me that her daughter is gay. She's like, I have no issue with that. We support her, whatever. Yeah. She's like, but her daughter is the one that has issues with this whole forefront of the LGBT community, because she said it's actually annoying of everything that they're trying to do right now, trying to promote almost like they're better than everybody else, or, you know, trying to kind of change up. They said like white straight people always had the floor and now it's everyone else's turn. It's kind of how I feel that they're kind of gearing this fight for. Yeah. And, you know, hearing from a gay individual saying, this is ridiculous. Like, this is how overboard people are going with this. And obviously for the almighty dollar, then you have a lot of places like Disneyland that don't really give a fuck about that community. They're just there because they find money in everything.
And they're scared.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the times the people that put the fucking pronouns in their bios on their social media or whatever.
That now.
Exactly. And it's because they're scared that if someone catches them slipping, you know what I mean? And catches them without their pronouns in their bio and be like, what? Are you transphobic? No, man, I just don't care. It's not my thing. I'm cishet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're
like,
a shithead?
Yeah, I'm a fucking shithead. You know what I mean? Like, it just gets to a point where it's like, dude, it's just nonsense. It's not what we're supposed to be focusing on. Focus on being a good fucking human.
Yeah. And being in the HR realm, it's really annoying that, and I'm really thankful that I'm not in a workspace that is pushing that. We're not pushing that dialogue. We're not forcing people to attend. Like we all took a class online about, it just kind of fell into our normal every other year training on discrimination, harassment. So it was like a small blurb of what was it? Bias towards people.
Yeah. Unconscious bias.
That.
Yeah.
We had a small blurb about that. That's been around for a minute though in our trainings. But other than that, we are not pushing that agenda at my work. We're not forcing people to do any of that. Of
being an asshole. If you are an asshole, I will respond in kind. It's the whole golden rule thing, just like you said last time. If you're a dick to me, I'm going to be a dick to you. Whether you have one, don't, or trying to grow one, or just cut one off. Like, I don't care. Like, if you're an asshole to me, then I'm going to be an asshole to you. Like, period. Yep. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try and not be that way. Because, like, yeah, if you're immediately an asshole back, then, yeah, it's not going to teach them anything. If you try, and if you're a human being and you try and be like, hey, man, like, they might be going through some shit, like, whatever, like, I'm gonna try and maybe hold my tongue and be patient and maybe they'll see that by me being a nice person to them, they'll see, oh, maybe I was an asshole, like, they're being good to me, you know, whatever. Maybe they'll learn from it. But 9 times out of 10 with the fucking society that we have right now, that's not going to happen. And that sucks to admit, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Hey guys, if you like this video, please subscribe and please watch video. It helps us out a lot because we offended all of our neighbors around our house and they hate us and they are now kicking us out. We are being evicted because we say bad things. Respect, freedom of speech.